2000, McKnight secured the rights to Quicksilver International Limited trademark. This allowed the company to go international and move their products globally, especially in places like Japan and Australia. It moved back to Australia, back where it had come from. Today, Quicksilver is in the business of buying smaller brands. This is because they don't set up their own distribution channels. They buy businesses with existing distribution channels and manufacturing, such as Merlin Manufacturing, based in the US, and companies like France-based ski giant Rossignol, which has its own distribution channels and its own initial setup market.
We've come up with multiple marketing propositions for Quicksilver to improve their operations. Quicksilver has dwindled in its respective market and lost its distinction from competing brands. As a team, we have come up with a strategy to what Quicksilver can do to reposition itself in the eyes of its targeted consumers. First, by refocusing on the core brands and using the STP method, and continuing segmentation into the surfing and snowboarding clothing industry.
The second step of the STP method would be to reposition yourself for your target markets. To select your target markets. Your target markets, as we've identified, were males aged 14 to 25 and aged 13 or 8 to 13. By refocusing on these two target markets, the company can effectively use its allocation of resources, especially in the US where it is tanked. They have a limited number of resources. The third part of the STP method would be the positioning part. And the positioning part, we see that Quicksilver needs to refocus the brand and its distribution toward the States, or needs to reposition their brand to the distribution outside of the States and more to the international. The Quicksilver brand is selling better in places like Japan and in Australia. So we propose that Quicksilver move their manufacturing and their distribution channels more outside of the US where the system is failing. Also, since the company is mostly using a selective retailing system where they sell their brand through mostly other department stores, they might see a benefit if they sold more of the products through their own retail Quicksilver locations, where they would gain brand exclusivity and there would be more distinctiveness.
Yeah. With that being said, what they need to do to create long-term success is they need to reintroduce themselves. Many people look at Quicksilver as an out-of-date clothing brand. They need to be able to keep up and ahead of the trends. There's many ways to do that. They can do it through research. Some examples of the research they can use are focus groups, surveys, and even just observation to see what the consumers like and how to make the customers happy.
Another way to connect to the customers is through social media. Social media can get customers excited and involved through giveaways and contests. These acts can get the consumer to feel appreciated. Quicksilver must rebrand themselves in order to take their first